Hi guys, Tiffany here from Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and today we are going to be talking about airbrush painting. And for this video, we're going to be specifically talking about the Createx Colors Wicked Color Opaque line on EVA foam. And shout out to Createx Colors for providing me with all of the airbrush paint. I highly recommend them and go check them out. This line of airbrush paint I've actually been using for a while now, and I've been using it on all of my EVA foam projects, and you can kind of see a little bit in the background. And for this video, I made samples, lots and lots and lots and lots of samples, testing out all of the paint line made from 4mm EVA foam that has been heat treated with a heat gun. Remember to heat treat your pieces so that way the paint will sit on the surface of the EVA foam and not be absorbed. And you'll use less paint then. As well as 3 coats of Plasti-Dip on top of the surface. This is going to make it so your paint can adhere to the EVA foam better, as well as be flexible and more smooth. And we're going to be sampling 13 colors from this line, and each one we're doing 2 samples for. One is going to have a base coat of black, and the other will be white. So that way you can see the difference that the paint looks like with a undercoat of either a lighter or a darker color. And we use Createx Colors Auto Born Sealer Black and White for our base coat. Now a little about the paint before we get into the sampling. The paint is really good. It can be a little bit thick, so you will need to shake it up. And there's a little bead inside that you'll be able to hear. You want it to be loose enough to hear it going back and forth, as well as thin enough to go through your airbrush gun. And I highly recommend for this airbrush paint using the Iwata airbrush paint guns. I specifically use the Eclipse. For you shaking up the paint, you should be able to use it straight from the bottle, but you can also reduce it with what they recommend is the Createx Colors 4011 reducer. But I personally like to use the Airbrush Flow Improver, as I find this to work best with my environment that I am painting in. A reminder that airbrush paint is very much affected by the climate that which you are painting in. So your results may vary depending on if you are in a hot or a cold place, or if it is really dry or humid. And the environment that I paint in is in Texas. It is very hot and very humid, and I paint in my garage. So if you're in an environment near me, then that might be similar to you. Some safety with this paint: you do need to be painting in a well-ventilated area, and also wearing a respirator. You want to protect your lungs. So let's get started. And that, guys, is all of Createx Colors Wicked Color Opaque line here for you. What? I highly recommend using this paint for EVA foam, as this is my go-to. Colors are nice and very solid, and it's the easiest I've found to work with testing out a bunch of different paints. So highly recommend it. All the links to all products and colors are down in the description of the video. And like the video, comment on if you found this helpful, or if you liked any of the colors specifically. I would love to hear from you, as well as subscribe to the channel, and I will see you for our next Createx Colors airbrush paint video coming soon. Much love, guys!